And we are live, you guys. So I am so sorry I'm not here, you guys. Once a year my doctor needs to see me to make sure I'm okay because I'm getting old. But, you know, I'm still pretty healthy, so everything should be fine. So, review day. Hopefully this has been passed out to you. I'm sure it has. And I want to go through this with you so that you guys will understand what's going on in the test. If I get going too fast, please ask the substitute to pause the video and let you catch up. Don't be afraid to raise your hand and say slow down, please. Okay. All right. So number one, and I already put these in my calculator, but I'll go through it with you. The following is the length of a golf ball being driven into the fairway in yards. Okay, so you drive the ball 225, 195, 188, 200, 195 yards, 220, 250, 215, 225, and 205. And if somebody really smacked the ball, 304. Great shot. Okay, find the mean, median, mode, and standard deviation. So first thing I did is I already put them in my calculator. So I went to stat, I went to calculate, I put them all in, and then from there, typed all the numbers in. I go back to stat, to calculate, one variable is what I want. I go down to calculate, and I get an answer of, well, there's my mean and my standard deviation, okay? All right, so there's my mean. My mean is going to be about 225.2, 223.2 yards. Okay, that's my mean. My standard deviation, which is that symbol there, is about 40.6. So it's pretty spread out data with a big standard deviation like that in terms of yards. Okay. Now, to get the mode, I don't think there's any most popular number. I think they're all pretty close to the same, but I'm going to put them in order. Let's see what's the smallest. The smallest one here is at 195. Oh, there's 295. There's my mode. So I'm going to put them in order. 195, 195, 195, 195. Let's see what's next one. 200 probably is my next smallest. It's always helpful to have you guys' help because I make mistakes and you guys catch it. Oh, I forgot like the 188. 188. Wow. Okay, I'm glad that I've got room for the 188. See, you guys would have been yelling, Mr. Davies, don't forget the 188. Okay, 188. 200, 215, right? Probably 215. What's next? 215. 222, no, 220, 205. 205. Okay, 205. Then what's next? 220? I think so, 220. Take out my 220, and then 222, and then my 225, then 250, and then it looks like my last one is 340. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes. Okay, now the mode. I've got the mode. The mode's easy. The mode is going to be my most popular, which is 195. Right. And then my median, middle number, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So there's 11 numbers. The fifth one, sixth one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's my median. It's my middle number, which is 205. Okay, that's pretty easy. I got those. Now, outlier, I say the 340 might be an outlier. One way to tell if something's an outlier, you should take your standard deviation, and you're going to multiply it by 1.5, and then see if it's bigger than your mean. So I'm going to take my mean, which is outlier. So if I take my 223.2 plus my 40.6 times 1.5, so I find out if it's an outlier. So you take your mean plus your standard deviation times 1.5. So it's 1.5 more than the standard deviation. Okay, so I'm going to clear this. So here's how you do it. 223.5 plus 40.6 times 0.5. Yeah, 284, so 340 is definitely much larger. How would it change my results? Well, it would change my mean. My mean would come down. My range would change, and my standard deviation would change. It would change everything, actually. Okay. box and whisker plot. So what I'm going to do is get my ruler, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. A number line. I'm going to have probably 180, 190, 200, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 260, 270. I got to keep going. 270. Keep going. 270. Should have made it longer. 270. That's 270. 280, 290, 300, 120, 130, 340. Okay, so let's see. There's 200, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, 310, 320. Oh, I'm off. 10, 20, it's a 320, 330, and there's my 340. Okay, give you a second to catch up, okay? So I made my number line, and then I'm going to put in my box and whisker plot. So first of all, my very smallest is 188, so that's going to be a whisker about there. There's a whisker at 188. And then I'll have another whisker at 340, which is way up there. Okay, there's my other whisker at 340, okay? My median is 250, so there's my median, which is the middle of my box. Quarter one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so there's quarter one, which is the middle. Quarter one is the middle of the first half. Quarter two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there's quarter three. Okay, so I'll put 195 for quarter one. 195 is right about there. There's my box. And 225 is my quarter. Oh, that's 205, you guys. Yeah, Mr. Davies is 205. My goodness gracious, 205 is there. Yeah, you know. You guys know me. I'm going to make a mistake every now and then. Yeah, definitely. It's okay, good thing for whiteout, huh? Okay, so 225 is my quarter, about there. Okay, here's my box, my whiskers, and you can see it's really skewed heavily. Skewed, so it is skewed to the right because that would be where the tail is, okay? All right, there's my box and whisker. And if I label these, I've got my 205 here, I've got my 195 here, and I got my 225 here. 225, and then my whisker is at 340. Okay, there's my box and whisker plot. You guys can do this tomorrow, I know. Okay, I'll let you catch up. Okay, number 3. Well, identify each distribution. So number 1 looks pretty much what we call a normal distribution, okay? So it's an even or normal. It looks like it would be, everything's just kind of tight, there's nothing too far one way or the other. So I'd call that almost a normal distribution. I mean, the whiskers aren't too far away. The mean might be a little bit over here, so one could argue, and it'd be an okay argument if you said, no, Mr. Davies, it's skewed to the right because the mean is right there, or the median's right there. Definitely B is skewed to the right, okay, because most of the data is on the left-hand side, so I'd say skewed to the right. Thank you, Tava, again for paying attention the other day. Okay, so now, which student was more consistent? Well, obviously student A, right? Student 2. Student 2 is more consistent because all the scores are pretty close, so I'd say student 2. Because all the scores seem to be kind of close together. Which student had the single best score? Well, student 1 got an 88. Student 2 got an 85. So student 1 got an 88. So student number 1, they got an 88. Okay. All right, now, hopefully that makes sense. Number 4. Well, what I did is I did it. So 127 to 114 is a 15 unit spread, okay? That's your interval. So your interval is about 15 weights in kilograms. And I went through and I just kind of did it because I didn't want to waste your time on doing it. So I made it, and you guys can look at this, but here's what I wound up doing is I took my 127 to 142, 143 to 158, 159 to 140, 174, 175 to 189, and 190 to 205. So I already did it. Didn't want to waste the time on having you guys watch me count them, but I did. I went through and counted all the ones that went into these areas, and I had 6 in the first interval from 127 to 142. I just counted them up. I had 7 in the interval from 143 to 158, so I just counted them up and found out how many they were. I had 2 in the interval between 159 to 174, I just counted them up. 2 in the interval from 175 to 189, and then 1 in the interval of 190 to 205. Okay, so it's definitely skewed to the right. Right, okay. And then if you are looking at kilograms, you know, in terms of kilograms, these are big boys. Okay, 203 kilograms, that's a really, so there's not going to be that many huge, I mean, that's kilograms. Multiply that by 2, right? 2.4. So average weights are right in here for the average weights of people, okay? All right. And I'll let you guys, you can work on this later, okay, if you want to make it, but there it is. Okay, number 5. All right. A survey is conducted to see who wants to go to the prom from 350 students. Okay, so I put the 350 down there. I made my chart. From a total of 171 males, 100 said yes. Okay, so I made my chart. Males, females, yes, no. Okay, so I made my chart. Go ahead and do that. Take a minute to make your chart. Okay, it's my two-way table. Okay. Make your little chart. These are my totals. Right? And then I filled in my totals. I knew that there was 150 males that said yes, put 100 there. 90 females that said no, I put that there. 171 total males, I put that total there. That's a total. And now I'm missing some numbers, but that's pretty easy because to get the males that said no, I'll just subtract, right? So to get the no's, 171 minus 100 is 71. So I know that this number has to be 71 for the total to make 171. I know that from 300, let's find out how many females there are. Well, that's not too hard. I'm just going to go 350, subtract 171, right? If I need to find that number. There's a total of 350 students. 171 males. If I subtract that, means there has to be 179 females. Okay. Now I should know how many females say yes because 90 said no. Okay, so 90 said no. I'm just going to go 179 total females. Subtract out the no's. I get 89. So it had to be 89 females that said yes. And then I get my totals here. This has to be, if I add these, total male, female, if I add those together that said yes, I've got 189 that said yes. How many said no? If I add this, I would say 161. And of course that number plus that number should equal 350 as well. 189 plus 161. Yeah. Okay, now, awesome. That wasn't too hard. So finally, what percentage of females, what percentage of females will go to the prom? So females that will go to the prom is 89 out of 179. How many girls, what's the percentage of girls going? So what is 89 divided by 179? About 49.7%, almost half, 49.7%, whoops, 7% will go to the prom. Okay, so I'll be here tomorrow. We'll have a test. I'll answer any questions you have. You have a homework sheet. I want you to work on that. You've got the rest of the periods, so get that done. I'll see you tomorrow, okay?